Hello everyone and welcome back once again to another challenge from Dev Challenges IO. Today we're going to be doing the responsive web developer and we're going to be doing the My Team page. So you can click on this card and then you can say start and download, which is going to download the starter files. And so once it downloads the starter files, you can head over into your downloads folder. And in your downloads folder, you're going to have a folder or a zip file that is called My Team Page Master, which you can right click and say open with extract here, so to extract the files obviously, and then you can right click on this to say open with code, which is going to open up an instance of VS Code into this folder. And then once that opens up, or as it opens up, you can take a look at this. What we're going to be building is this. So it's a pretty neat design. It has some layout challenges such as these names, or rather these titles that are here. So it's going to be a bit of a layout challenge for both mobile and desktop. And so when you head over into our workspace, you're going to see that we have an index.html, and then we also have all the photos that we're going to need. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create an index.css file, because obviously we are going to need to lay this out in some way. And then what we're going to do now is this. Actually not, I should probably open the Figma design as well. So let that load in. And then as it loads in, I'm going to go inside my index.html, and then we are going to remove the following. So we're going to remove this entire style tag. We don't need it. And then we're going to remove these spaces, and then we're going to remove this div inside the body. So remove this div, and then we're just going to render an each one that says hello world. So hello world, and then we can remove this font. We don't need this font. We can remove this, can remain. This is the favicon. This is also the favicon. Let me see, what do we need to do? Yeah, I think we can have that. So let's save it, and then I'm going to be using an extension that is called live server, which is going to help me to launch a local development server on locals 5500, which also has hot reloading, so that every time that I make a change in my code editor, then it's going to automatically display in the browser. So the extension is called live server. You can go ahead and install it. You don't have to use it. I do recommend it. So I'm going to say right click and say open with live server, and then as it opens up, then let me see whether this is loading. Okay, there we go. So we have this. Okay, there we go. We have this. We're going to be using what font? Let me check the font that we're going to use. It's called Poppins, obviously. And this other one is called what? PT Serif. So we need Poppins and PT Serif. And then let me see anything else that we need. We're going to add this in, and then yeah, I think we have everything. So PT serif, and what PT serif, we need what font? We need the 700, and then for this one you need the 400, and then this one is also what? Poppins, and they're all black in text. Okay, so we're going to have that. Let's go ahead into fonts.google.com. So fonts.google.com to get these fonts. And then inside here, let's remove that. Let's say we want the Poppins font, and then for the Poppins we want the regular 400. So the regular 400, and then let's also go ahead and search for the PT serif. So PT serif, and for this one we want the bold 700. So the bold 700, let's use the import tab. Let's grab both of these. Let's make sure that they're imported. Okay, so paste this in, and then we're going to say that for the body we're going to have a font family of Poppins for the text. So Poppins with a fallback of sans serif. And then for the each one, we're going to have a font family of PT serif. So PT serif with a fallback of serif, because that is how it is defined here. And then let's go ahead and do this. Let me save it. And then inside our index.html, we can begin to build this out. Has this loaded in? Where is my, wait, what? Where's my, oh, here it is. Okay. Hello world. Okay, nice. So let's go ahead and begin to build this out. Let's go and do this. Let me open this on a new tab here, because we're going to need it. And so once we have that, we can see that we're going to create, let me see, we're going to create a section that is going to hold these two items so that on large screens you can display them side by side like this. And then we're going to create a div that is going to be housing all these 6. So let's begin like this. Let me place this full screen. Let's go ahead and create here a section, and then this section is going to have an article. The article is going to have an H1 that says the creative crew, so the creative crew, and then not below the H1 but below the article we're going to have another article with an H2 that says who we are, and then below this we're going to have a paragraph that says we are a team of creatively diverse. Oh, someone is editing this. Okay, nice. Not really editing but viewing it. We are a team of creatively driven, what am I typing? Creatively diverse, driven, innovative individuals. My typing today is so slow. Individuals working in various locations from the world, so working in various locations in the world, or in the world, let me say in the world, and then add a full stop. And then once we have that, we're going to go below this section. We're going to create a div, and this div is going to be 6 articles, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, so 6 of them, and each of them is going to have an image, a name, and the role of the person. So we're going to create an article here. You know what, I've used a section on top, so let me use a section here as well. And then we're going to have an article, and the first article is going to be an image. The source for this image is going to be photo1, so photo1.png, photo1.png. The alt attribute is going to say the name of the person, so Bill Mahoney, and I apologize, I have the flu. And then once we have that, then we're going to do this. Below this we're going to have an H2 or an H3. We're going to have an H3 that says Bill Mahoney. And then once we have that, we're going to go where? Let me go, should I go above this? Probably. That says the role of the person. Oh, this one has a different, oh, it's the same font as this one. Wait a minute. So I should have taken another font with, okay, that's easy to correct. So product owner, how am I going to do this? This is going to be a pain. So let's have a paragraph here, or not a paragraph. Okay, let's just have a paragraph that says product owner. And then we're going to copy this article, copy and paste it in 5 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this second one is going to say art director. So art director. This is going to say photo 2. This is going to say what? Let's select this text and change it into the name. So Saba Cabrera. Okay. And then do the same thing for this one. So photo 3, change this into, we're going to say Shaile, and then change this, oh wait a minute, that's wrong, this should be here. So Shaile, and then this is going to say tech lead, and then this one says UX designer, so UX designer. This one is going to say photo 4, and then this is going to say who? Skylar, so Skylar Blue, and then this is going to say developer, and then photo 5, and then this is going to say Griff Richards, and then this is going to say what? Developer also, so developer, and then this is going to say photo 6, and this is going to be Stan John. So let's save it, and then let's see what we have on the screen. And would you look at that, here we are. Something is wrong. we haven't linked our CSS file. So below this, let's link index.css, so that these fonts can apply. There we go. Fantastic. Now we can begin working with this. We can begin styling it out. So the first thing that we're going to do is we want to remove this default margins that everything has. So we're going to say reset the margin to 0, reset the padding to 0, and set the box sizing to border box so that it uses the CSS box model, and save it. So now it shrinks down. And then for the each one, I'm going to give it a font size of what, 32 pixels. Okay, you know what, let me also go inside the body, give it a padding all round of 32 pixels to push everything inwards. And then for the each one, let's have a margin dash bottom of what, 16 pixels. Let me use rem, so 1 rem to push away from this part, or you know what, let's say 2 rem. And then now I can begin styling all of this out. So I want to go inside this first section. Let me give it a custom class here of section 1 because I don't want to use pseudo class names to target all of this. So section 1, and then I'm going to give this one a class of section 2. So save this, and then we're going to go inside section 1, section dash 1, and then I'm going to say display this as a grid, and then I'm going to say grid template columns, and we're going to say repeat one fractional each. And then we're going to give it a gap of 2 rem, and I've just realized that this is going to be an issue because I've added margin bottom here. So let me remove the margin bottom, and the gap of 2 rem is still going to apply here. And then for section 1, I wanted to push away from this first image, so I'm going to say give it a margin bottom of 2 rem as well. Let me see how it looks actually. Yeah, this is how it looks. The margins are all the same. So we're going to have that. You know what? Let me use 3 rem on the gap and use 3 rem here as well. Yeah. And then what we're going to need is we want all the images to have a max width of 100% so that this overflow doesn't exist. So, and also so that we can have some spacing on the right side here. So above the body, I'm going to say that for all the images, I'm going to set them a max width of 100%, meaning they take up 100% of their container, and you can see that it immediately looks better. And then let me see, we need what, the text here, the name of the text is looking okay, but what we need to do is we need to give these roles, see these roles, we need to give them a custom font family of this one. So let me copy this font family, and I'm going to say that for the paragraph that has a class of serif, then we're going to give them this font family, so that now I can go inside my index HTML, and for this first paragraph, I'm going to give it a class of serif, and you're going to see that now this text is going to change. And then we're going to copy this and paste it here and here and here, oops, and here and here for all the roles. And then for the roles, we also need to have a font weight of 400, which is going to reduce this, but it doesn't reduce it because remember we imported it as 700 only. And so let me see, how do you add another font family? Do you add a comma? So it says 400 and then comma, is it? Yeah, there we go. And then notice that this needs to be uppercase, so I'm going to say text transform, and I'm going to make it uppercase, and there we go. Okay, now let me see, even on mobile they look like this. So what we're going to do therefore is this, we're going to say let me say transform and rotate by 90 degrees. What happens? And they go there. Okay, this is going to be an issue. Let me comment it out first of all. Let's just deal with the layout. So let's go inside section 2 and let's display section 2 as a grid, which is going to say grid template columns to repeat twice and 1 fractional each, which is going to place them side by side. And let me see, we need all of these images to have the same height. So I'm going to say section -2, and then I want to access the images, I want the images to have a height of, let's say, 400 pixels. Is that okay? That's too large. Let's say 300 pixels. And let's use 300 pixels. And then we're going to set the width to be 100% so that they always 100%, so that we don't have that little space that we had. And then let's go back here. Let's add a grid gap of 2 rem to separate them out, so that we're going to have that. And then back on the images, we're going to set the object fit to cover, so that they take up their containers properly. Okay, and then what we need to do is, for every second article on mobile, we need it to push downwards just a bit for every second article. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So what we're going to do is this. We are going to say that, let me see, let's go below this. Let's say that for section 2, for every article that he is the nth child of even, meaning for every second article, then we want to say transform, is it transform, and what is it called, transform, translate on the y, yes, translate on the y by what, let me say 10%. How does that look? 10% too small, 20%, 20%. Yeah, we can work with 20%, right? We can work with 20%. How does this look? The gap here needs to be a bit more. Let's increase this gap to 3 rem. Let's see, 5 rem. We can work with 5 rem, right? I think we can work with 5 rem, but it's a bit too big. I think it's a bit too big. 4 rem. This is a conundrum. Let's increase the padding bottom here. Let's say padding bottom 2 rem, so that we can have a bit more leeway when we're scrolling. Is it going to show? It doesn't show, really? Okay, let's cut this out from here. Let's place it on what? Oh, I know why it doesn't show, because this is already pushed down by 20%. That's why it doesn't show. So let's say padding bottom here of 5 rem, and that should do it. Let's say 6 rem, 6 rem. Just increase the padding bottom here. And then now we need this text to come here. That is going to be quite a pain. So let's enable this once again, and you can see it comes here. And let me say position this as absolute, which is going to break it even more. And then I'm going to say bring it to the right by 0. You can see that now it breaks even more, but we want it to be on the right depending on the article that it is placed in. So the way we do that is by going, you know what, this should probably appear above the image, and then we're going to say that for the section 2 article, then we're going to say position this as relative, so that everything that is positioned inside it is going to be positioned absolute. And then let me see, let's see. This is a pain. Let me see. What happens when I go ahead and say for the serif, where's the serif paragraph? Oh, here, okay. What happens when I go here? This should probably come on top. And then below this, we're going to say that give it a background color of hashtag FFF, which is white. And then we're going to give it a width of 100%. And then, oh, you know what? This should also have a top attribute or property of 0. Oh, wait, that doesn't fix it. What is it detecting as right here? Why isn't this going here? How did I structure this article? The article is positioned relative, so this one should come here, isn't it? Let's say right by minus 10%. What happens? What? Minus 100? Wait, what? I messed up something. Let's remove this width. Then let's remove right by 0. What did I mess up? What did I mess up? What did I mess up? I massively messed up something. How does it look on large screens? Ooh, large screens breaks. Hmm. Hmm. Wait, let's remove this. Let's remove this. Wait. And then shrink it down. Still. And this one. And this one. What? CSS, man. CSS. Oh my God. Hmm. Okay, not as we're figuring that out, let's fix this on mobile, on desktop, sorry. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go inside here and just add a line break. So inside the index HTML, let's go below this issue. Let's just add a line break, which is going to separate it out a bit. And then let's go ahead. Oops. Let's go inside our CSS and let's add a media query. And we're going to say at media for a min width of 760 pixels, which are tablets. Then I want section 1 to have grid template columns to repeat twice and one fractional, which is going to place this one here and here. And then for section 2, not even for section 2 really, but for the entire body, I want to limit the body to have a max width of 1100 pixels. I think that should be fine. And then we're going to have a margin of what? Margin of auto. I lagged for a moment. And then once we have the margin of auto, let's fix these images. So for the section 2 IMG, let's give them a height of 500 pixels. Okay, this is too big. Let's say 800. Okay, let's use 800. And then here, the height should be, yeah, 500 works okay. Yeah, I think 500 works okay. And then what? Now all we need to do is just fix this. And why isn't it behaving like I expect? I'm trying to figure out what I messed up, but I can't seem to find it. Let me disable this, because this right, you know what, I thought that this would, or is it because of this? Oh, it is because of the transform rotate. It is because of the transform rotate. Is there another way to turn the text? See how CSS does, people? Okay, so it's been a while. I've been thinking about the solution, and I've disabled the background color. And so what I want to do is, first of all, I want this text to first come here, or not really here, but to come inside the image. So we're going to adjust the top value, and I'm going to say give it to the top by 65%. Okay, no, should I use percentages? Let me say 65 pixels. Let's say 100 pixels. Let's say 150, 155 pixels. Okay, 158 pixels. So that I can see it here, that it is on the image, on top of the image. And then let me see. Now that it is here, I want to bring it to the right. So let me say bring it to the right. Why isn't the right of 0 working? Okay, let me say bring it to the right by what is, it is technically in the middle of the image, right? The image is what is the width of the image? 100%. So if we bring it to the right by 50%, it should come here. Or not 50, but minus 50, sorry. Okay, minus 50. but not yet. So let's say minus 52%, 53%, 54%. Okay, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Let's increase this to 160. And whoa, okay, no, no, I celebrated too early. Hmm. Well, well, this is an issue. Oh, you know what? You know what? Let's not use a fixed height here. Instead, yes, let's use the calculate. So let's say calculate 100% minus 160 pixels. And then let's begin to play around with this because now it messes up everything. So let's say calculate by what is 16? Let's say what? What? 200 pixels? 300 pixels? Okay, 250. So it should range somewhere there. So 250, let's say 255. No, 245, 45. Let's say 248. And then bring it to the right because now we want to increase this margin a bit. So should we use calculate here also? Let me say 55%. What happens? Yeah, we can use 55 or 56. 56. So the issue arises. The issue arises. Why does this issue arise? Let me test out something. Let me go inside the article and give the article a height of the image is what? The image is 300 pixels. And this H2 is what? Did I give the height on the H2? I did not. So the H2 is usually like what? 36 pixels? So if I give the article a height of, no, it's not 36, is it? 28. I think it's 28. I can't remember well. So if I give the article a height of 328 pixels to cover for this image as well as for the height of the H2, what happens? Let me save it. Okay. So that now theoretically it should be that when I scale it up, okay, still the same thing. Still the same thing because now it has a fixed height. Yeah. Oh my god, this is hard. This is hard. Okay, you know what? We use calculate here. So let's also use calculate here on the right. So I'm going to say calculate 100% minus 100 pixels. Where does it go? So it's not yet what I want or how it should be in the design. So let me do, okay, let me place it full screen, not minimize. And then now instead of using pixels, let me use percentages. So 50%. And then let me see, this is the top value. So let me say 60%. Where does it go? Is it even changing? 80? Okay, it's changing. Okay. So let me say 70%. We should bring it right on there. So 68%. And then on the right, calculate 100% minus 50%. Where does it go? Where did it move? Let's say 80%. 100%. What? Wait, that is just zero. What am I doing? So let me say minus 200%. Brings it here. Let's say minus 150%. Okay, let's say minus 152 and 54. 154%, and then let's bring this down to 69. And then let's see. Okay, would you look at that? Okay, okay. We almost have it, but see right around here? That is because of the way we added the width to the images. So let's try and give the images a height of auto. What happens? What happens here? Let's see. And there we go. Would you look at that? Oh my god, that was quite challenging. It was quite challenging. It still doesn't look all that well on mobile here. We can try to fix it, by increasing this to 155 or 158. Yeah, and then reducing this to 68, or wait, to increasing it to 70 or 72. Yeah, and then we're going to scale it up. Oh, that's the wrong one. We are going to scale it up so that it doesn't look like this on large screen. So let's copy this, and then let's go here and say that for the paragraph that has a class of serif, we're going to reduce this back to, we had what, 68, and then this was what, 55, was it 69? And then yeah, we can work with that anyways. We can work with that. There we go. Would you look at that? That was it took longer than I expected. So I'm going to commit this to GitHub. Hello everyone. So this is coming at the end of the project video, where I just realized that I did not complete the layout for this, because the layout in the design is to lay it out in 3 grids, but I left it at 2 grids. So that is what I want to fix in this video. That is what I want to fix. As you can see, it is 1, 2, and then 3 grids. If this is going to load in, there we go. So 3 grids. So that is just what I want to fix here. So in order to fix that, we are going to go inside the section 2 class, inside this section, because this is the section with the grid, and we are going to go right inside this media query actually. And inside this media query, remember that we displayed section 2 as a grid here. So we are going to change this to now not show 2 grids but 3 grids. So we're going to say right below this, we're going to say section 2, and then we're going to say grid template columns. They're going to now repeat 3 times and 1 fractional column each. And you can see immediately that we now have 3 columns, even though the layout breaks just a bit. Now, what did we use here? We used 800 pixels for the max width. Now, it's a bit too small, as you can see, obviously. So let's increase this first to 1000 pixels, maybe 1100, or let's do 1200. That's okay. So yeah, we can use 1200. And then remember how we got this layout, how we were able to move this image and this image downwards in the mobile design. We are going to do close to the same thing, because here we translate them on the y-axis by 20%. So let's just copy this, and then below this we want to get this article, and it is article number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So instead of saying nth child even here, we're going to say nth child 5, and then here we are going to push it down by, it is up by 20%. So 20% is going to bring it here. So we need to push it downwards by 40% so that it comes here. And look at that. Though I think this is a bit too big. Let me see. It's a bit too big, right? I think so. Let me do this. Let's copy this on top, and then let's reduce this to 10%. 10%, so that this comes upwards just a bit, right? And if it's 10%, then this needs to be double of this, so that this is 20%, that this moves here. Yeah, I think that's much better. Let me see. And actually, you know what, the other one looks much closer to the design, so let's just use 40. Yeah, and that's it. That's how you get the correct layout for this section. And I apologize because I missed it in the original project video. And I'm going to change this readme up, and I'm not going to do it right now really. I just want to commit this to GitHub so that you can have access to the code, so that I don't forget. So let's create a new repository, and the new repository is called what's the name of this? My team page. So dev challenges dash my team dash team dash page, and then let's create repository, and then let's close all of this. Let's say git add all and git, oh sorry, we need to initialize a git repository. So git init, and then git add all, and then git commit dash m, and I'm going to say initial commit project complete. And then let's copy this link, and then say git remote add origin, and then git push dash u origin main, which is going to push it to GitHub. And then I'm also going to need to deploy this so that we can submit our solution, but that is going to be done later because I'm a bit fixed on time and I've just realized that I am running out of time. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.